Thank you for watching this video. Today, I will be introducing an extremely unusual train station, together with the unique history of it caused by multiple challenges. Please pay attention to the unusual structure of the station, as well as the interesting characteristics that make this station unique. I am now at Minakami Station, located in Gama Prefecture in Japan. Minakami along the Joetsu Line, an important train route serving the Shinetsu region. Minakami is located 59.1 kilometers from the starting point at Takasaki, with the line running further than this station being rather rural in nature. As the departure melody plays, let's get ready to depart and ride the Joetsu Line 2 stops to Doai Station, the subject of today's commentary. The motor is pretty nice sounding though, it's quite like the KSF family of trains back in Singapore.
JR 東日本をご利用くださいましてありがとうございます。この列車は上越線普通列車長岡行きです。
We then separate from the track designated for the other direction and enter a tunnel, which is certainly strange considering this line is double-tracked. Before we continue, based on Japanese naming conventions, the down, Kudari, line which I'm on right now goes away from Tokyo and Takasaki, while the opposite direction, the up, Nobori, line towards Takasaki and Tokyo is named as such. The unusual thing is, we can see a platform for the track for the up direction before separating from our tracks, then decelerating and entering a strange underground station, Yubiso. Why is this so? Why are the up and down direction platforms separated? This gets even more extreme at Doai Station, the next stop along the line, separated by a long unnaturally straight tunnel. Multiple rail fans gather in front of the train as it gets ready to depart, emphasizing the uniqueness of this station. The gloomy dark lighting, the plain concrete design and the algae growing on the walls gives a rather dilapidated feel. Where are we even? To understand this, we need to fully understand Doai Station's unique structure by magically teleporting to the street level. The area around the station is rural in nature, situated along a rural road and in a valley surrounded by mountains with very few buildings. You can imagine that the demand for this station is very low due to the lack of development in the area. Back to the station introduction, there is an unusual passageway from the station building linking into a hill. Where does this go? Let's find out together. Walking along the rural gravel path towards the station, we can see haishi, the Japanese term for abandoned buildings in the background, emphasizing how deserted this area is. The current station building opened in 1967, which is more than 50 years ago, explaining the station's age. A sign depicting "Welcome to Japan's #1 mole station," a common term used by railway enthusiasts to describe Doai Station. Toilets are also provided, a nice touch for a rural station. Entering the station building, the concourse doubles up as a waiting room and feels rather dated, transporting you back in time to the 1960s. The disused ticket counters even have fonts used decades ago. The counters have been converted to what seemingly looks like a cafe, certainly a brilliant way to use disused spaces. Of course, Japan being Japan, a vending machine is almost always present at every station. Timetable-wise, Trains are rather infrequent, with trains running every few hours throughout the day, emphasizing the rural nature of Doai Station due to the lack of commuting demand. This rural station is also unmanned without ticket gates, requiring you to take a boarding ticket before paying to the conductor when you're on board a train. Let's pass through the disused manual ticket gates, which we can likely assume looked something like this back in the days. We will firstly proceed to the Nabori platforms. Walking through the dilapidated station, it certainly gives vibes comparable to a horror movie. The Nabori platform is located above ground and is a single-tracked side platform structure. However, notice how there seems to be an awkward empty space on the opposite side of the platform, barricaded by a fence. In addition, overhead wire support poles stretch past that space, possibly suggesting that there could have been tracks here. On the track side, a passing track seems to have been provided. However, it seems disused. Returning to the station building, ballast is laid out on the left of the existing tracks, implying that there was probably train tracks in this area before they got removed. Please pay close attention to this detail as it is relevant to the history of Doai Station. Now that we have seen the Nabori platform, you're probably wondering, where is the Kudari one? Re-entering the station building while passing by a strange pull-up bar, which I honestly don't know why it exists, we head down more sketchy corridors and a plenty of stairs, certainly raising some questions about the station's strange layout. Looking outside, we can see the same road where we started the station introduction. Yes, this is the strange tunnel that leads into a mountain. Before heading down another lengthy corridor, a sign is pasted warning passengers heading towards Minakami and Takasaki to U-turn to proceed to the ground-level platform. This is maybe a hint that the Kudari platform isn't conveniently located. A few moments later, we arrive at a seemingly endless tunnel with stairs leading downwards. What on earth is this? The number 462 represents the amount of steps for the Kudari platform. Yes, 462 steps. The tunnel is truly endless, with even benches installed at regular intervals to allow users of the station to rest while climbing all the stairs. Certainly a thoughtful move given the lack of escalators, which there are provisions for on the right side of the staircase where there is a continuous stream of water flowing downwards. Unfortunately, due to the deficit of the Japanese national railways followed by the declining ridership in the Junior East era, the plans for an escalator at Doai Station never materialized. After around 10 minutes of stairs, we finally arrive at the Kudari platform, with a sign commemorating Doai Station's position as the mole station of Japan. The tunnel seems to be of a shield tunnel design created by a tunnel boring machine, with one side platform serving trains towards Ikaigoyozawa and Nagaoka. Yes, this was where we alighted from the train at the start of the video. From this, we can finally see why the other platform cannot be seen from here and the incredible distance between both platforms. However, there is a large concrete area next to the existing temporary-looking platform and what looks like removed slab tracks, which get more apparent as we move to the rear of the platform. What happened in this area? Doai Station commenced operation on the 1st of September 1931, as part of an extension of the Joetsu line from Minakami to Ikaigoyozawa. Like other lines that opened around this time, it was common to only establish a single track with passing loops at stations for trains to pass each other. Please keep this in mind. Throughout Doai's history, it has always been a popular form of access to the adjacent Mount Tanigawa and the ski resorts during the winter season. As the demand for freight and commuter trains increased along the Joetsu line towards Niigata in the 1960s amidst Japan's post-war recovery, plans were created to double-track the Joetsu line to cater to the traffic. On the ground level, space was insufficient to expand the existing single-track line due to the terrain. As such, a new tunnel for Kudari trains was constructed to pass directly under the mountainous terrain, creating an unusual structure where the up and down bound tracks are completely separated. Because of this, it was necessary to construct a separate platform at Doai beneath the mountains, opening in 1967. What about the awkward passing tracks at the above-ground platform? As the Joetsu line was finally double-tracked, it was no longer necessary to have passing tracks for Nabori and Kudari trains, therefore eliminating the other track at the ground-level platform somewhere around 2000, where it seems that the ballast was newly replaced. For the case of the underground platform, it was raised sometime in 2008 to enable easier boarding and alighting, before making the old passing track now the track that serves Doai Station. The station no longer has passing loops. Fun fact, these rooms have been repurposed into a wine brewery, taking advantage of Doai Station's constant underground temperature of 15 degrees throughout the year. In summary, Doai is a one-of-a-kind station that possesses unique history and is definitely worth paying a visit in Japan. Unfortunately, the provisioned escalator will probably never get built due to the insanely low utilization of the station, but at least we can still experience climbing the famed 462 steps. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you have learned something new. If you have enjoyed watching this, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Do also consider purchasing Super Thanks, so that I'll have funds to make more amazing content like this one for y'all. Goodbye, and see you soon.